Hey folks, I hope that you guys are doing pretty well. So today is Wednesday, the 8th of January 2025, and in today's video I'm going to decipher for you Psalm 58, okay? Now Psalm 58 only has 11 verses, but it packs a real punch, folks. This Psalm 58 is very powerful in more ways than one, and we're going to be going verse by verse to all the 11 verses. Now, as always, I have a program here for Psalm 58, and actually comprises of, I'll just give you a quick scan here, 4 pages. That's right, folks. This one is actually a very interesting psalm, and one that all Bible scholars should know, because it's a psalm that's mainly for the tribulation period, but also for the second coming of Jesus. So this psalm here is very, very powerful indeed, with its 11 verses. So I'm going to show you how all these verses link up to Bible prophecies, okay? So it's a very powerful psalm. Now, just in the general breakup, okay? Now, verses 1 to 5 are mainly for the tribulation period, okay? But verses 1 to 3 are actually for the first half of the tribulation period, whereas verses 4 and 5 are actually for the second half of the tribulation period, and you shall see why in a moment. Now, verses 6 to 11 are for the millennial kingdom. MK here, short for millennial kingdom. These adjustments, if you like, upon the return of Jesus' second coming. Okay? So let's get into it, folks, because this psalm is actually very powerful. So it says here on verse 1, David, okay, the author of the psalm, is actually posing a question for those evil men living during the tribulation period. Is, David is saying, do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Okay, in other words, you evil people, do you actually speak righteousness and do anything right? Do you judge uprightly, O you sons of men? He's also posing the question, you even judge uprightly, in which they are not doing, because people here actually in the tribulation period, but more specifically in the first half of the tribulation period. Okay. Now, pardon me. So for verse 1, okay, so basically speaking, Psalm 58 verses 1 to 11 is a psalm partly for the tribulation period and also partly for Jesus' second coming judgment. Okay. Now, verse 1, where it says, speak righteousness plus judge uprightly, like it says here, do you people even speak righteousness or judge uprightly? King David is actually posing the question because people during the tribulation will be very evil. Okay, so David is actually perplexed and asking the unrighteous or the evil people or the evil men in the tribulation period, if you like, why are you so evil? By asking these questions, do you even speak righteousness? Do you even judge uprightly? Okay, because people are going to be evil. Okay, now this verse here is mainly for the first half of the tribulation period, and you shall see why when we move into the second half of the tribulation period. Okay, so mainly speaking, it can apply also to the second half, but you will see how the first three verses are actually mainly for the first half of the tribulation period. Okay, now if we turn over the page on verse 2, it reads, "Yeah, in heart you work wickedness." Okay, so this is why, remember, it says here, yeah, in heart you work wickedness. This is why, the people are evil. This is why King David is posing the question, "Oh, congregation, do you judge uprightly?" You know, and so, and do you indeed even speak righteousness? So they are evil. Okay, so yeah, in heart you work wickedness. Yeah, you weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. So just think of all the violence that's going to be happening throughout the tribulation period. This verse also can apply to the second half of the tribulation period, okay? But I'm putting under the first half because in context you will see how then verses 4 and 5 are mainly for the second half. They can apply the first three verses to the second half as well, but just to sort of like make it easier in terms of context, I'm going to put it into the first half, okay? So basically, people in the tribulation period, they're going to have wickedness in their heart, okay? And people are weighing violence, okay, of your hands in the earth. So for verse 2, then, where it says, in your heart you work wickedness, you weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Basically, the meaning is that men or people would be more preoccupied, okay, with the violence during the tribulation period, generally speaking, okay. And why it says, well, think of the symbolic four horses of Revelation. The white horse meaning the Antichrist, the red horse in which God is going to take the peace away from the earth. This is why people or the wicked people are going to be weighing or thinking about the violence. They're going to be preoccupied with the violence in the earth. Okay, so yeah, think of the symbolic four horses of Revelation. The white horse, the Antichrist, the red horse, God taking peace away from the earth. The black horse symbolizing famine, and the pale green horse, death and hell follows him. So there is going to be a lot of violence, okay? And this is why people on verse 2 are weighing the violence, okay, in that period of time, okay, on earth. Verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. Basically, these wicked people are actually those born during this period, if you like, in which they are also going to be going through into the tribulation period. Okay, so basically, I put here the wicked are strange from the womb, meaning that the wicked born to be on this tribulation period. Okay, people that are actually being born, that are born now, that are living right now at the back end of the church age. Okay, will eventually perish because think of Jesus' second coming and his judgments. Okay, um, the prophecies in Joel chapter 3, verse 2, the judgment in the valley of Jehoshaphat, Matthew 25, verses 32 and 33, the judgment of the sheep and the goats, Zechariah 14:12, how people are going to dissolve, Revelation 14, verses 15 to 20, to nine but a few. Okay, so let me turn over the page. Okay, so yeah, basically the wicked are strangled from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. So they're gonna be strangled, like I just said to you, because when Jesus comes back, he's going to be performing all those judgments. Okay, and so they are basically, they are alive now, but it's kind of like they are born to die eventually. Now, I said to you earlier that verses 1 to 3 apply mainly for the first half of the tribulation period, in my view, but they can also apply, generally speaking, to the second half. But verses 4 and 5 are actually for the second half of the tribulation period, okay? Because look what it says here. The poison is like the poison of a serpent. That's interesting. Don't forget that in the second half of the tribulation period, people will receive the mark of the beast, and that's going to be like a poison on people, okay? So that's why I put verses 4 and 5, as you shall see in a moment, according to my writings. Um, that they actually belong in the second half of the tribulation period. So the poison, think of the mark of the beast, it's like the poison of the serpent, because it is the devil, the serpent, that's going to be introducing the mark of the beast in the second half of the tribulation period, according to Revelation 13, verse 16. Okay, they are like the death adder that stoppeth her to to ear. Okay, so let me tell you what I'm writing here on my notes. Okay, so the poison, this could well be the mark of the beast, in my view. Um, on the poison people. Okay, so once people take the mark of the beast, they are going to be poisoned by that. They're going to become like poison, like it says on verse 4. It says the poison is like the poison of a serpent because the devil is going to be introducing the mark of the beast. Okay, so yeah, it's like a poison of a serpent. The serpent, the devil is going to introduce the mark of the beast according to Revelation 13:16. People will be wicked and serve the devil or worship the devil or the serpent. Okay, as the signs have been overcome. By then, once the man of sin dies and the son of perdition or the devil enters into the former man of sin, if you like, then when the devil comes in the second half, he's gonna be overcome the signs. They're gonna perish. Okay, and the Jewish people have to flee in the wilderness where God is going to protect them supernaturally for 3.5 years, according to Revelation 12:14. Okay, so the poison, I believe, is kind of like linked into the mark of the beast. Okay, according to Revelation 13:16. Okay, so the poison is like the poison of a serpent because it's a serpent that is giving people, his poison, if you like, the mark of the beast. Okay, now this, I believe, this verse 4 is actually for the second half of the trip. Now, verse 5, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. So basically, because people will be receiving the mark of the beast or that poison, they're going to be worshiping the serpent. And so on verse 5 here, people will not hearken to the voice of charmers, meaning that people are going to be so evil that they're not going to be listening to any sense of righteousness at all, no righteousness or any morality, because they have the poison or the mark of the beast from the devil. Okay, so on verse 5, where it says, which will not hearken to the voice of the charmers, people will be so evil that they won't listen to any righteousness and moral counsel. Okay, so and that's because I put an arrow here going all the way down to verse 5, because people are going to be receiving the mark of the beast or the poison from the devil, if you like, from the serpent, according to Revelation 13:16, and they're going to be so evil that they are not going to hearken to anything that's righteous or even moral. Okay, so yeah, verse 5 and 6 are pointing for the second half of the tribulation period. Sorry, verse 4 and 5 for the second half of the tribulation period. Now, verse 6 is actually a transitional verse. Now, verse 6 to 11, according for the millennial kingdom, in that Jesus is going to come, to perform his judgments. Okay, now look what it says here: break the teeth, O God, in the mouth, break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. Now, why is it saying break the teeth of God? It's because the wicked, okay, are so evil that they have become like poisonous serpents. Okay, and so it's kind of like a figure of speech: break their teeth, because these people are gonna be so poisonous that King David is saying here, break their teeth, so that they are no longer poisonous. Okay, so this is a transitional verse here, for the millennial kingdom, in which Jesus has to come, okay, to perform his judgments. Okay, so for verse 6, where it says break the teeth of God, this becomes a transitional verse, as it implies the second coming of Jesus to punish and to judge the wicked. Okay, now break the teeth of God is suggesting that Jesus should break the teeth of the serpent and evil people by his judgments. Okay, then we move on to verse 7. Let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow, this is Jesus, to shoot, his arrows, let them be as cut in pieces. Now, this is one of the judgments that Jesus is going to be performing. The melt away actually links to Zechariah 14:12, like we'll see in a moment. I'll show you my notes first, okay? So, let them melt away actually links to Zechariah 14:12, which says, the flesh, the flesh shall consume away while they stand on their feet, okay? And when he, Jesus, bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be cut in pieces. Then this actually links to also Zechariah 14:12, people melting away, if you like, and also to Revelation 14 verses 19 to 20 when Jesus operates the winepress. Okay, I just show you quickly Zechariah 14:12 how it says that people are gonna melt away, practically like it says on verse 7. Okay, so verse 7, just remember, melt away. They're gonna be cut in pieces. Okay, so let me take you to Zechariah quickly, folks. Zechariah 14:12. So we're just about there, folks. Here we are. Okay. So head over to Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. Okay. The flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and the eyes shall consume away in their holes, and the tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Okay. So do you see now why verse 7, let them melt away, actually links to Zechariah 14:12, in that the flesh shall consume away? Okay. And when he, Jesus, bended his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be cut to pieces. Yeah, it also links to this melting away, like I just showed you here on Zechariah 14:12, but also on Revelation 14, verses 19 to 20. So let us quickly look at Revelation 14. Right at the back here. Okay, so Revelation here. So Revelation 14, verses 19. And okay, so head over to Revelation 14 verses 19. Okay, verses 19 and 20. Okay, and the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth and gathered the vine of the earth and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God, and the winepress was trodden without the city, and like a matter of the winepress, even unto the horse's bridle, by a space of 1,600 furlongs. Okay, so upon the return of Jesus, going to be operating the winepress. Okay, so people are going to be melting away. The blood came out, or the winepress, and so on, after the horse's bridle. So people are going to be melting away practically. Okay, so so yeah, that is that for verse 7. Okay, people are going to be melting away. And the bow of Jesus, when he comes, okay, he bended his bow to shoot. Yeah, he's going to be operating the winepress. Okay, so and people are going to be cut in pieces, meaning that they're going to be melting away, like I just showed you. Okay, in Zechariah 14:12. Okay, or Revelation 14. 19 verse 20, and also in Revelation 19 as well. Okay, now verse 8, as a snail which melteth, okay, let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they might not see the sun. Okay, so this is another judgment. Okay, so on verse 8, where it says, let every one of them pass away, this verse links up to a whole cluster or judgment prophecies by Jesus' second coming. Okay, think of Joel chapter 3 verse 2, the judgment in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Matthew 25 verses 32 and 33, the judgment of the sheep and the goats. Okay, Zechariah 14:12, what I show you there, people are going to be melting away. Revelation 14 verses 15 to 20, the wine press, if you like. and also Revelation 19:15, the winepress as well. So let every one of them pass away. You can link all these prophecies that Jesus is going to perform in terms of judgment. Okay. Now then, verse 9. Before your pots can feel the thorns, this is an interesting figure of speech. He, Jesus, shall take them away as with a whirlwind, both living and in his wrath. Now, this figure of speech, before your pots can feel the thorns, basically what he's saying is that before the signs that are coming with Jesus, and together with all the Jewish people that will make it through into the Millennium Kingdom, okay, plus others, before all those people can sort of like, relax, if you like, and eat well. A figure of speech, you know, Jesus needs to get rid of the thorns before people can sort of relax and grab their pots and do some, cooking, if you like, so to speak, and do the cooking in peace without the evil people around, without the thorns. Okay, it's kind of like a figure of speech. Okay, so he, Jesus, shall take them away as with a whirlwind, both living and in his wrath. Okay, so I just told you how on verse 8 here, Jesus is going to be performing all these judgments upon his second coming. So on my program here, for verse 9, okay, before your pots can feel the thorns, he, Jesus, shall take away as with a shall take them away as with a whirlwind. Okay, so pots, pots can feel the thorn is a figure of speech, as he's saying before all the saved that go into the millennial kingdom can finally rest, okay, and be well, then eat well, if you like. The thorns, or the evil people, or the wicked people, will go to hell, okay? Jesus is going to be performing all the judgments, like I just said here on verse 8, okay? Joel 32, the judgment in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Matthew chapter 25, the judgment of the sheep and the goats. Revelation 14, the winepress, and so on, okay? Now, the last two verses then, verses 10 and 11, okay? It says, the righteous shall rejoice when he sees the vengeance, okay? Of course, the righteous will rejoice because Jesus is going to avenge, he's going to be performing all those judgments, okay? He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. This blood of the wicked links up to the winepress, if you like. So, on verse 10 here, okay, the righteous shall rejoice when he sees the vengeance. This links to Revelation 19:15, okay? Jesus' sharp sword, okay, to smite the nations. And he, Jesus, treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of Almighty God. Okay, so, um, you know, people will finally see, the signs, plus the Jewish people to make into the millennial kingdom, plus others, the righteous people shall finally rejoice when Jesus comes back and performs his judgment. Okay, when Jesus gets his vengeance. Okay, especially if you read Revelation 19:15. Maybe we should take you there quickly now. Revelation 19, okay, verse 15, okay. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of Almighty God. Okay, so that's the end of the Gentiles, alright. And then the verse, of course, I just wanted to check quickly. He Jesus shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. These things to Revelation 14:20. Blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse bridle. Okay, so this second bit here on verse 10, where it says, he shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. It links to Revelation 14:20. Okay, let me just show you quickly that, and then we'll finish up with the last verse. So Revelation 14:20. Okay, and the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse bridle. Okay, so just remember that blood came out of the winepress. Okay, so if you go to verse 10 here, okay, and he, Jesus, shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. Okay, so the righteous shall rejoice when he sees the vengeance. Okay, when Jesus performs, according to Revelation 19:15, the sharp sword goes out of his mouth. Okay, and he shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. He, of course, is Jesus, and the blood of the wicked. I just show you Revelation 14:20. Like a out of the winepress. Okay, even unto the horse bridle. Okay. Then last verse, folks. So that a man shall say, verily there is a reward for the righteous. Yeah, of course, because you know there are many scriptures that say that all the wicked are going to be going to hell, especially you can read it in Psalm 9:17. I'll show you that in a moment. Okay. Verily, he's a God that judges in the earth. Yeah, exactly. When Jesus comes back for the millennium, he's going to be performing all those judgments that I just showed you. So let me just show you the notes here on verse 11. Okay. So verily there is a reward for the righteous. It's kind of like a figure of speech, if you like, saying the wicked will perish, but the righteous shall live. I put here, see Psalm 9:17. Okay. So let me just quickly show you Psalm 9:17. Okay, Psalm 9, verse 17. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. Okay, so there you have it, but it's more than that. Okay, and of course, you know, verily He's a God that judges the earth. So basically, for that, I put down that verily He's a God that judges the earth. These links to all the prophecies of judgment, okay, that Jesus will perform on his second coming. Think of Revelation 14, verses 15 to 20, Revelation 19:15, the winepress, if you like, Joel 3:2, the judgment in the valley of Jehoshaphat, Zechariah 14:12, people will melt away, all the wicked, if you like, will melt away. Matthew 25, verses 32 and 33, the judgment of the sheep and the goats, nations, to name a few. So, alright, folks, thanks for watching. I just wanted to, decipher this for you so that you get an idea of what it's all about. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll talk to you all later.